All right, guys, welcome to our next week of Honors or Science. As far as the week goes, we're going to continue that process of exploring through our chemistry unit and also kind of continue our discussion about biology for next year. So there's a couple of different things to discuss for this week. I'm not going to go into my normal detail for a couple of these different things to do because I want to talk to them with you in class. So really important this week that you show up to our Zoom sessions so that you get all of the details and all of the information that you need to get these things done and done on time and done correctly. So with that being said, we kind of break the week up into two sections again. We have Monday, Tuesday, and what we're going to do at the beginning of each of those days is talk through the Build an Atom Explore activity. And like I said the last time that I saw you, it was about exploring. It wasn't about getting everything correct or anything like that. So we do need to spend some time going through the answers and why those answers are correct and any questions that you have. So we will spend some time doing that when I see you, either Monday or Tuesday. And then you'll have some time the rest of the period to get into your second Explore activity, which is dealing with the periodic table. So I will go into a little bit more depth on that. That is going to be due Tuesday night, 11:59 p.m. Another thing that you'll need to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is a biology survey. Okay, so I'll show you this in Schoology. I'll have a survey link. It's also kind of going to be an assignment, so it shows up on your upcoming. Just kind of seeing where you're at with where you'd like to go with biology. The AP Bio video will be linked in there, so you can take a look at that. We'll do that together, see what questions you might have, and then just kind of tell me where you're at with what you want to do for next year, and if you have any questions. So that's going to be due on Wednesday night. Wednesday is a no school day. That is a teacher workshop. So it's not our typical Wednesday help session or anything like that. It's a day off for you. Okay, so make sure you take advantage of that. If you have work that you need to get done, get that done, or just kind of relax and do what you need to do on that Wednesday. Okay. Otherwise, the second half of the week, we're going to kind of repeat the process, what we did Monday, Tuesday. So I'll spend some time explaining the periodic table, explore, again, going through answers, seeing what questions you guys might have, just so that everybody's feeling good. And the reason why we need you guys feeling good is because you're going to start up your assessment Thursday, Friday of this week. And it's the first one. It's only going to revolve around the structure of an atom and the periodic table. Okay. And it's going to be you explaining what you know. Okay. So, again, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about that because I want to do that with you in class. So, show up. Okay. That assessment is not going to be due until next week, Tuesday, the 19th at 11:59 p.m. It's a little bit involved, and I want to make sure you guys have enough time. Okay. And with the extended weekend, because of Martin Luther King on the 18th, you should have plenty of time to get that assessment done. Okay. So as far as due dates and stuff go, the periodic table explore activity is due Tuesday night. Your biology survey is due Wednesday night. And then your first assessment is due the 19th at 11:59 p.m. Okay. So I'm going to really quick jump into that second explore activity. So I'm going to go into the chem folder. Okay. Explore. You're not going to see this quite yet. But the periodic table explore activity is here. Okay. So very similar to the last one. You're going to open up this Google Doc. Okay. And it gives you a little bit of direction here. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to take a look at an article about the periodic table. Okay. And that article is linked right here. Okay. I'll talk more about that here in just a second. What you're going to do though here is that you're going to read it and then answer the questions that are down below. However, because we're dealing with a periodic table, I think it's going to be a really good idea to take a blank picture of the periodic table and send that to Notability so that you can mark up your periodic table, your blank one, with the things that you're reading about and label and do all that good stuff. So I'm going to walk you through that here in just a second. Okay. To the article itself, what I'd like you to do is our normal: highlight those definitions, underline those key ideas and details, and then put question marks next to things that you don't understand. Okay, and you're gonna need to read through this a couple of times. All right. Let's see. There's a couple of links here. There's a link to, up at the top, a periodic table. This one is probably one of my favorite periodic table links, because this gives you a ton of information. You can play around with this a lot to explore, but just to show you a couple of things, let's say you wanted to just look at the metals. Okay, you should be able to highlight. There you go. If you click and drag or hold on to that, you'll get all the metals. If you wanted to see all of the non-metals, there those are. Okay, and then if you'd just like to know information about any of the elements on the periodic table, you just tap on that and it'll take you to where you need to go, I think. Okay, so that's a fun one to look at and explore. Okay, we'll go back to that Google Doc. The article is here. Okay, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to send this over to Notability. You're going to turn in two things when you're done here for Tuesday. You're going to turn in this Notability document because you're going to be highlighting, underlining, and putting question marks, and I want to see that. Okay, so you'll read through this. It talks about the element square. Okay, you're going to need to label one of those in your assignment. Okay, it talks about different patterns dealing with periods and groups and stuff like that, and what those things tell you. Okay, so I do want this. I do want to see what you did with it. All right, so that is the article. Okay, and then you got a couple of other links down there as well. Okay, and then you've got your after reading questions. Okay, you just go through and answer those. All right, but I do want you to send this document over to Notability as well. Okay, and the reason why I want you to send this to Notability is I'd like you to add a blank periodic table. Okay, and I want you to show me what you did to that periodic table. Okay, and what I mean by that is, what did you label and stuff like that. Okay, so I sent that over to Notability. All right. Okay, and once you get it over there, what you're going to want to do is, take one of these blank periodic tables, probably the second one, okay, and put that blank one into your Notability file. Okay, so that way you can add your labels and things to it. Okay. So that should take care of your second explore activity. You're attaching two things, the questions with the periodic table, and you're also attaching the article with all of your markups. Okay. Now for the other things this week, you have the biology survey. Okay, it's going to be in the registration information folder. Down there at the bottom it says biology registration survey. Again, I'll talk more about how to do that in class. And then the last thing, which is going to be due next week Tuesday, is going to be in the evaluate folder. Okay, and it is this atomic structure and periodic table assessment. Okay, so again, just those two things going to be on that assessment, and I will talk more about that and specifics and directions when I see you in class. Okay, if you have questions, send me Schoology messages. I'm available every day this week from 1 to 3. Okay, have a great week.